still matters. After breakfast, Zach, Zoe, and Grandpa Richie left the house and headed toward the park. Grandpa Richie finally stopped talking about the court as he and the twins walked through the big archway at the entrance to Wesley Park. He said it was time to change the subject to something happier: basketball. "I know you two get a kick out of listening to me and your dad argue about who was the better player when we were young," Grandpa Richie said, "but I've never asked which one of you is the better point guard." Without hesitating, and without knowing what the other twin would do, Zach pointed at Zoe at the exact same moment she pointed at him. The twins smiled at each other. They saw Grandpa Richie smile too. He always seemed to be smiling when he was with them. "Who really was the better point guard, you or Dad?" Zach asked. "He was," Grandpa Richie said, "but don't tell him I said so." "You know what we should do?" Zoe said. "When our tournament is over, we should have a game of 2-on-2 in our driveway. Zach, you can play with Grandpa Richie against Dad and me." "That would be awesome," Zach said. "Awesomer than awesome," Zoe said. Then Zoe turned and nodded at her brother, and the two of them gave each other their special high five. The one where they spun around, bumped hips and elbows, then jumped up and slapped palms. "We didn't jump around that way when I was young," Grandpa Richie said. "I really am getting old." Zach and Zoe giggled the way they always did when their grandfather talked about how old he was. They just thought it was funny because he was actually younger than most of the grandparents they knew. "But holding a basketball in my hands still makes me feel young," he said. Grandpa Richie was carrying Zach and Zoe's basketball on his hip. Suddenly, he started dribbling it, first with his right hand, then with his left. Then he bounced it through his legs and caught it from behind with his right hand without looking. Next, he flipped it over his head and caught it. Finally, he spun it on the index finger of his right hand. "You're as quick as lightning," Zoe said. "As a matter of fact," Grandpa Richie said, "that's what my teammates used to say about me." Then he stopped in his tracks. Zach and Zoe saw him staring up ahead at the basketball court. "Hey," he said, "check out those baskets." He was smiling again, and when Zach and Zoe saw what he meant, they did too. The baskets on both ends of the court now had new white nets hanging from them. "Where did those come from?" Zoe said. "Maybe somebody just decided to do something nice for us," Zach answered. "Or," Zoe said, "maybe we've got a mystery on our hands." "They're just nets," Zach said. "It's probably not much of a mystery." "It's still mysterious," Zoe said, her face lighting up, "which makes it a mystery. We need to find out who did this." "Here we go again," Zach thought. Chapter 2. Grandpa Richie said he could only watch practice for a few minutes. He had his own weekly basketball game that morning at the rec center. "Any advice for us before you leave?" Zoe asked. "If you're open, shoot," he said. "If somebody else is open, pass the ball and let them shoot. Most of all, have fun." "That's exactly what Dad always tells us," Zach said. Grandpa Richie winked. "Where do you think he got it from?" Then he said goodbye to the twins and walked out of the park. The other members of their team were already warming up on the court. Malik and his dad were there. So were Mateo Salazar and Lily Holmes and Kari Stewart. Everybody was excited about the new nets. "Mom's right," Zoe said. "This court does need a lot more than nets." As he checked out the court, Zach could see that the lines needed painting. In fact, the whole court looked like it could use a new coat of paint. Zoe said the benches looked like they might fall apart if somebody tried to sit on them. "That's only if you're willing to risk the splinters," Kari said. "But it's still a basketball court," Zach said. "And we do have a big game on it tomorrow," Zoe said, and shrugged. "And we finally get to be teammates," Zach said, excited. "We need to do what Mom always tells us to do," said Zoe. "Focus on the positives," Zach finished for her. Once everyone had warmed up, Malik's dad suggested a game of 3-on-3. He split them into two teams. Zach, Mateo, and Lily were on one team. Zoe, Kari, and Malik, their tallest player, were on the other. They decided the first team to 10 baskets would win.